insomnia, inability to lose weight, hot flashes, fatigue, joint pain, energy loss, gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, heartburn, headaches, hair loss, high blood pressure, edema. What do all of these things have in common with your mindset? We're going to talk about it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, I'm Jamie J. Miller, functional diagnostic health expert, and welcome to my channel, Aging with Impact, where I talk to you about doing what you need to do in your 40s, 50s, and 60s to age with impact in your 60s, 70s, and 80s. We are building a house of health and well-being and all that it requires for you to take your own health into your hands and do the dang thing. And if you've been following me for the month of May, then you know that we are focusing on mindset and how important mindset is, and it is at the foundation of anything that you decide to do in your healing and health and well-being progress. Without it, you can't change it for good, if you know what I mean. Because the mindset that you currently have is what got you into the current position you are experiencing in your health. And that could be a numerous amount of symptoms ranging from not so bad to this really sucks. Your mindset that you currently have is what got you here. And if you do not change that, no matter what you do, and we talked about this in my first video of self-sabotage, I'll link it up here, what you do will always come back to the same results where you're at now if you don't change your mindset. You have to change your mindset. Now you can do it in conjunction with the things that you do, but it still has to be a major focus on your healing program. The second video that I put out, which was last week, it was on the statement that I made in my first video about where your focus goes, your energy flows, and what that really means as far as the woo-woo-ness of the idea of law of attraction and attracting things into your life based off your mindset and gratitude practice. All right, that's super important to really understand how to get things to line up with your internal value, i.e. your subconscious, and then go from there. Again, so it all stems from changing your mindset. So in today's video, I want you to watch it all the way through because there is a giveaway at the end for those of you that will stay. Okay, so first we want to talk about how mindset is related to your stress response. Now, your stress response is a hormonal response, all right? Your body feels stress only, which then your stress response can also be considered emotions. So if you want to use them interchangeably, you can. Stress response and emotional response is dictated by your hormonal harmonization in your body. And I'm not talking about necessarily testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. We're talking about cortisol, ghrelin, dopamine, and adrenaline, and serotonin. These are all of the hormones that are made and maintained in the gut. That's why gut health is so important, that affect your stress response or emotional response. Your thoughts also contribute to your emotions, and your emotions, your stress response, also contribute to your thoughts. So therefore, they are really in cahoots with each other, all right? You won't have a thought without having an emotional response, whether good or bad, and you won't have an emotional response without a hormone response and a thought that goes along with it, all right? And your thoughts can create your emotional response, believe it or not. They also can change your emotional response, okay? If I look at a car wreck, and I see it and I go, oh gosh, that is horrible, then that's the thought, but the emotion is anxiety. Maybe I have experienced a car wreck before and all of the emotions that came from that experience floods into my system, and I can use my thoughts and my reactionary responses to those emotions to change the outcome of how my body biologically receives or responds to that response. So how my body biologically responds to that response. So what you're hearing here is your mindset dictates your stress level, emotions, and your emotions dictate the response that your body has biologically. And that biological response is called inflammation. Now, you may think of it like, for instance, if you twist your ankle and it swells. Absolutely, that is a form of inflammation. It's actually a good form of inflammation, and it can lead to healing. But in this case, this is an inflammatory response that happens at the cellular level. And the way that your body responds to it at the cellular level is different. That's why you'll hear people say, as they're getting older, nobody quite has the same exact symptoms. Yeah, most everybody can generalize their symptoms and say they feel like crap, but what causes them to feel like crap is usually in one bucket more than the other. For instance, the bucket of insomnia, or the bucket of gut issues, or the bucket of headaches, or the bucket of hot flashes or hormonal imbalances, or the bucket of fatigue, or the bucket of hair loss. How their body, their inflammatory response feeds out into those buckets is completely individual as we are aging and as we are getting older. So again, are you starting to see the link? So we have mindset, which then stress response or emotional response. And then we have inflammation, which then goes into the biological response of the body. And inflammation is at the heart of every single disease, every single one that you could think of. The big daddies like cancer and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and Lou Gehrig's, everything that you can think of disease-wise, where you know that is honestly affected in a major way lives of your loved ones, is started with inflammation. Period. End of story. Try to prove me wrong. Let's go. Catch me outside. You know what I'm saying? So it starts at the heart of inflammation, and inflammation is directly related to emotional and stress response, and emotional and stress response is directly related to mindset. Are you hearing what I'm saying here? Is that a lot of times people come to me, as I stated in the first video of self-sabotage, they'll come to me and say, I need to do, but they don't want to change the foundational issue that got them to the place that they're in, which is their mindset. All right. And that's why I created the Mindset Reset program, because that's what it does. It works on your concrete foundation of the house that you're living in that is trying to get toward a well-being that far exceeds what you believe is possible in the aging process, so that you can impact and go and do and be more well in your 60s, 70s, and 80s. Because I'm telling you right now, you don't have to believe me, but people that are getting this now are going to be the ones making the biggest impact at the latter stage of their life, because they're going to feel like doing it. They're going to see that the changes that they're making now is going to allow them to set themselves up for it. And even if you don't have a big purpose, which I don't know about you, I do, okay? I have a big purpose, and it's not just to live longer. I feel like that purpose, sorry, but I feel like that purpose is really lame. I want to live longer, yes, but I want to live with impact. I want to do the things. And I want to tell you what's most passionate for me, what really gets my blood boiling, and the reason why I had to stand and do this video instead of sit quietly with a cup of coffee, is because I desire for me to take the burden off my kids from having to worry about my mental well-being or my physical well-being while they are at the heart of doing great things in their life. I want to take that burden off their plate. I want them to not have to worry about it. Of course, I want to be able to set them up financially, and we talk about that all the time. Now, again, I'm a firm believer that my kids are going to set themselves up financially, that I'm not living my life to just save money for them in the future. That's not the route that I take in my family. But what I can do is give them the freedom to not have to worry about me doing the things that I know will increase my longevity, my well-being, my energeticness, my mindset, and I'm going to do great things that they can be a part of and their kids can be a part of. That's how you change legacies. That's how you change the vicious cycle that was brought before you by your ancestors. That's how you create a new evolutionary process with the insides of your family. And honestly, as much as, yes, having a healthy marriage and all of those things help, but you yourself can create a place for your kids to follow, or a route for your kids to follow, a path for your kids to see that will change their evolutionary process, and then provide them with the freedom to not be burdened by you in your 60s and 70s, 80s because of the choices and habits that you made in your earlier years, all right? We're not talking about the fact that you may have been diagnosed with a chronic disease or whether you could help that or not or whatever, because that's debatable, because I believe that all chronic disease comes about because of decisions that we make in our habits. Now, again, there's things that obviously we are born with, and that is a different story. So again, don't twist or flip my script, because you can make a comment down below, but and we'll talk about it. But that's not what I'm saying here. But I'm saying all the disease is contributed by habits, then our habits do contribute to all disease. All right. So to wrap this up, and I'm glad you've been here so far, because I want you to make sure you hit that subscribe button, because what I want to do is I want to reward you for being here, because that's what you're doing. You're feeding the brain, and now you're going to take more steps to change the mindset. So what I am doing is that for those of you that have stayed here, that are listening to this part of the video, is that you are going to hit the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, thank you. And then you are going to place a comment down below, and you are going to give me the answer to the question: if you could wave a magic wand over your health and well-being, what is one thing that you would want to eradicate? What is one thing you would want to go away immediately? If you could wave a magic wand and change only one thing, what is one thing that you would want to go away immediately? You're going to write that in the comments below, and then I'm going to come in and choose one person that's going to get a free access to the Mindset Reset, okay? The Mindset Reset program is on sale right now for $22, and then it goes up tonight at midnight. It will go up each week of May, so getting in on it now is going to benefit you increasingly well. Why? Because we talked about it in this video. Mindset is the concrete to your well-being house. Mindset affects your emotional well-being and therefore your stress response. Your stress response affects your inflammatory response biologically in the body, and your inflammatory response is the precursor to all disease, all breakdown. Dis-ease, meaning dysfunction in the body. All breakdown of the body starts with an inflammatory response. So that is where we've got today. Again, I can't say it enough. Hit subscribe, hit like, so you know when new videos are coming out every Wednesday. And we've got a few more weeks in May where we're going to hone in on how to adjust your mindset and watch the rest of your well-being house get built with absolute awe. So if you've been following me for the month of May, you know that we have been focusing solely on mindset. And rightly so, because it is the game changer. It is the fundamental, foundational opportunity for you to really set yourself up for sex, not for sex. That would not be what I want to set you up for. I mean, I could want to set you up for that. I mean, I want that for you, but no. And now I'm all flustered. We're going to try again.